You're on a path in the woods. You make your way up the The interior of the cabin is almost entire. The door to the...
Don't be a stranger. It's been...
You walk down. She's beautiful. You're only making...
Okay.
You make your way to the bottom of the... Fine. No, we won't. Stop that. The blade! Move the... A warning. The interior of the... The door to the basement creaked. Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did...
That sounds perfect. Okay, yeah.
You place your hand on the door and lock clicks. Ah! I knew it. You and the princess make your... You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking...
That's the way out.
I'm begging you, don't do...
Something finds me in the long... Nothing. She asks that I...
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. The interior of the cabin is... You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement... Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. What's done is done, and there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odour of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? A ghost! Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
This isn't a solution. Nobody wins here.
You're...
Oh, she's upset, isn't she?
You're abandoning me here?
It would seem so, yes.
After everything you've done to me, you've chosen to do more?
The princess starts to float erratically from side to side, her cold exterior melting away.
But if you just leave me, then I'm really just going to be stuck here forever. Then there's nothing we can do. It's just going to go on and on and on and on, lonely and sad and hurting and empty. No, not that!
She's about to try something. Get ready. The princess passes through you, a chill rippling along your skin, a disappointed sigh echoing in your ears. You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs. Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a translucent hand on your chest. It feels cold, but otherwise like nothing at all. Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad? Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over, and we'll move on to something new. I feel like you all keep forgetting that. Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to be.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head, sorrow replaced with wrath, staring into you with fiery anger.
But I guess you've turned me into something worse.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine. You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed, starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor. But you don't swing your weapon. Your body comes to a juddering halt as she rips her hand from your chest. In her clenched fist is your still beating heart. But that's ours!
See you soon, killer.
She crushes it, blood and ruined vascular tissue leaking from between her fingers, dribbling unceremoniously to the floor. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. Shit. This really doesn't end, does it? It doesn't matter if we kill her, it doesn't matter if she kills us, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Yes, so it does. No, there has to be a way out of here. There just has to be. Does there have to be a way out? For all we know, this is just how things are. No, I can't accept that. I know she just killed us, but what if we free her? What if we help her leave? We haven't tried that yet. That does sound like it could be interesting. Or at least, different. I don't think we can stop her if that's what she wants to do. She ripped our heart out. Who's to say she can't go ahead and steal our body and make us do whatever she wants? Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Great. So you probably already know all about her and all about the threat she poses to the world. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way. If she gets out, the world ends and everyone ends with it, yourself included. Oh, threatening us with death, are we? And why should we be afraid of anything? We've already died twice. Doesn't mean much to us anymore. All death has done is shunt us back to these woods where we're forced to listen to your empty warnings again and again. This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'd call it, but it's definitely not the same path in the woods anymore. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same, it means that her influence is spreading, and the world has already started to end. Her influence? I really shouldn't have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of goodwill between us and do your job, alright? You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some awful inevitability. There must be something we're missing, something that would make everything make sense. Maybe letting her out really is the answer. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... That's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? What do you mean there isn't a mirror? There's a mirror, plain as day at the end of the hall. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it? You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. Oh, do we? Do we feel like we're being watched? I hadn't noticed. At least you're admitting to it now. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. This is it. The mirror's going to go away, and she's going to startle us. We better brace ourselves. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Oh, that was a close one. All that stress and lead up for nothing.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
Okay, maybe letting her in isn't the best idea. She clearly hates us. And what's your point? I thought you wanted to get out of here. This is a way out, and it's different. We might as well take it. Yeah, but not like this. She's going to make it hurt. Then turn off the part of you that feels things. Oh, like it's that easy? It is. Pain is just another sensation. If you can tolerate joy, you can tolerate pain. Except that pain hurts. Yes, that's what it does. That's the definition. Do we need to explain to you why pain is bad? You need to explain to yourself why it isn't.
See you in a jiffy.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. Okay, deep breath. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. What am I talking about? This isn't fine. It was better when she was a normal ghost. It is fine. Everything is always fine. These consequences have no real impact on us outside of momentary discomfort. I'm sure we'll be moving on again soon enough. Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. I'd beg you to resist, but you've already surrendered your will to her, haven't you? You're the puppet master here. If this is the only way we could cut ourselves free from you, so be it. It's a new experience. You should try being possessed sometime. There's nothing else like it.
There's nothing wrong with fixing your mistakes. I'll remember this. But I'll also never forget what you've done.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world.
We're so close.
But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's getting further away.
It doesn't matter how long this hallway is. I will drag this body till it is a piece of meat and feathers. I will be free.
Please, just let her out.
Yes, let me out.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
You cannot describe me into submission. The door is right there.
It really is, isn't it?
I walk to it. I place your bloody hand on the door. I made you twist the handle.
Isn't saying all of this his job?
He is gone.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling you could deal with him for us.
I did nothing. He dealt with himself.
This is it then. The big moment. Finally, we'll get to see what's really out there.
The handle clicks as we push forward. The air is different here.
We're us again. How interesting. Everything is gone. Except her.
What is happening to me?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us. And not in a good way. Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me, is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably. Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world. Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world. I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen. You reach forward and mindlessly take the blade from the table. What do you plan to do with it? Isn't that an interesting idea? I hadn't even considered it as an option. Slaying her would slay you. Are you sure you're willing to do that? Of course we're sure. The decision has already been made. All right then. Better this than ferrying her out of here.
What do you think you're doing?
Hear that? She's scared. No point wasting more time. Do it. You lift the blade, then plunge it deep into your guts. Pain spreads quickly through your torso as you attempt to turn its edge up towards your heart.
No!
The princess, her spirit bound to your prison of flesh as she had once been bound to the basement's prison of stone, cries out in agony as you slice through organ and muscle. Your skin roils and bucks as she violently pushes against it from the inside. Bits of her seep through, white and glowing with ethereal light, but still the walls of your prison hold.
Is this really what you wanted? Do you hate me so much that you would kill yourself just to deny me freedom?
Yes, he would. Because he knows what's at stake, and he knows what will happen if you leave this place. I'm not so sure about all of that. Don't be modest. You're a hero.
Do you think I'm just going to stick around while you die? Hell no, I'm leaving.
You can try if you want, but I think this is an end for all of us.
Let me out, let me out, let me out!
The princess's form continues struggling to pull itself out of you, but the effort is in vain. You collapse to your knees. Your vision blurs, then starts to fade. And then what happens? I think he's gone. Just like everything else. Are we dead? I don't know. I don't think so. This is different than it was last time.
Do you think we're done?
Do you?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Ignore him. You have to look.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
I'm out. You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, killer.
Dimension.
I think this is where I meant to be.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Ignore him. You have to look.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path. You make your way up. The interior of the cabin is all... You take the blade. The door to the basement... Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward. You lunge forward without a moment. Yes, exactly. It's over. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world... This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, a warning. The interior of the cabin is... You take... The room below... Without a moment's hesitation, it's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, you swing at the princess once more and...
Really?
Her voice... She draws...
Wherever.
Her...
I guess...
And you do your best. You can't go. She's But you don't swing your weapon in her clothes. That's ours.
See,
Crushes it. Blood and You're on a path in the wood. You continue down the path to the interior of the cabin. You slowly... We've all...
it's so easy.
You remain pinned to the her torso. You should not. I know you're used. You're awake. So you're... Capillaries in. You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
Why do you hate me?
Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall. What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now? I want to know what he thinks happens now. Oh, and why is that?
You laugh. Go on. It's just you and you and you and me. Idiot.
He's gone. But...
What's happening to me?
she's gone. And there's that mirror. I'm begging you. This is going to ignore them.
Something fine. Nothing as there is. She asks, you won't.
Really? More, please. The little voice. Eventually you pass.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right? Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are? Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices' pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.